Here we go. Good morning. Welcome back to the Extraordinary Technology Conference 2016, Extraordinary Concepts section of our conference today. Today, I get to introduce you to a former presenter that hasn't been here for many years. He was here when I first started speaking and first started attending the conference. I remember many times seeing his presentation in our lecture hall and then driving to his home in Salt Lake City and actually seeing the working tech in his garage. It was a ball lightning machine that was just absolutely profound and one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in the world. Dr. Kiril Chukanov comes to us with a background in thermodynamics from Moscow University. He lectures on quantum superatoms. From 2006 to 2011, he was in Canada, and since then, he's been all over 2006 to 2011. Yes, sir.
You know, you were talking about Kiril being here before. I just wanted to mention, up on the screen is a note from 13 or 15 years ago when Kiril used to invite us to his laboratory, and this is a moment of nostalgia, but that's the address in Utah, and he used to take us over, and he and his darling bride used to host us to see all their wonderful tools.
It was a great experience, so let's just say that we have actually seen this technology functioning, and it's profound, and its implications for energy generation and the world. So I want you to give a warm welcome to Dr. Kiril Chukanov.
Hi everybody, I'm very glad to be here again. Last time I took part in this conference 2003 in Salt Lake City. Since then, I was 5 years in Canada, big project, 2 years in China. I came half a year ago from China. In China was my biggest success. I was in Bulgaria, good project in Varna, Bulgaria. I visited many countries where they want to work on this energy source. Our company, my company, is registered in Sandy, Utah, Chukanov Quantum Energy. I worked in many years. I created theory of ball lightning, Big Bear, I published it. You know, without to know what happens, you cannot have success in harnessing and to find practical use for some phenomenon. Just to work blind, you'll never will have success because you don't know which way to go. You have to combine theory with practice and then to go to produce industrial prototypes and to make business. I'm going this way. I work on this project 28 years. I started in Bulgaria, my native country. I am American citizen and Bulgarian citizen, both. And then continue in the United States, in Silicon Valley. I was in Canada, China, many countries. And now, at this moment, I'm ready for business. I built industrial prototype in China, but I couldn't continue there because of some events which happens. My investor, Chinese, rich person, was in hospital, cancer, maybe he died. And they told me, hold for now. I had tickets, everything, but I didn't go back because I don't know what happened there. But there, I'm ready for business. I also accepted already different orders for different companies. Maybe someday I will go again there. So ball lightning is a very unusual quantum object. Science doesn't know about such an object. This new kind of matter, you know. Ball lightning is composed by two-dimensional nucleus. This two-dimensional, three-dimensional. That's just this surface. Inside, under this surface, there's nothing. No space, no substance. How I know that? Not only theoretically, many experiments. If you touch ball lightning and you run electrical current in air, vacuum even though, the current must go the straight way. It doesn't. It goes around. It's visible. You can be visible. If you go with laser, it must go through because this air is empty, vacuum. It go around, you know. And this nucleus is very elastic. You can, you know, but you cannot penetrate. You get just can deform, and this nucleus is positively charged. Around this nucleus, there's electron shell composed by trillions of electrons. So this is giant macro atom, and this is quantum object. As a quantum object, it possesses very unusual quantum properties. Its behavior is totally different from what we know. And it has some features which can be used as a source of free quantum energy. Free energy. It's a free energy. Free energy not because, for example, energy from sun, somebody say free because no money is paid. No, it's not free. It's produced on sun by nuclear reaction. Here, energy is not produced by chemical, nuclear, or other. It is violation of all conservation theory. I repeat, it's a violation. Nothing before, nothing, no primary energy source. So, sun or falling water or chemical nuclear. It's nothing. It's just produced because of this quantum effect. I discovered 3 different technologies of producing free energy. They are based on 3 different properties of ball lightning. If you have some volume of air atoms, molecules, if you ionize, fast ionization, fast microwave or discharge from capacitors, ball lightning is formed, 2-dimensional nucleus. And temperature of the surface is constant. Temperature, everywhere measured is constant. It's for 1 atmosphere is 5 to 10,000 degrees Celsius, centigrade. I know what is Fahrenheit, everything, but I'll tell centimeter, you know, Celsius. Okay. That's a nucleus. Around this nucleus, there's electron shell, electrons, quantum electron shell, trillions electrons. I calculated this system, quantum system, and this system is quantum system. It must obey Pauli exclusive principle, Pauli. It's atom. You know, electrons in ball lightning they occupy different quantum levels of energy, not any, and we have some quantum levels, sorry, I don't, and we have some quantum levels which are closer to the nucleus, with energy which is tremendous. 10 or 15, 20 electron volt per particle. They are much more energetic, even though the most energetic cosmic rays. But how to take this energy? This energy, compared with the 0 level, is considered to be negative, above positive. But I knew this energy cannot be taken from around. There's no such energy around. At the moment of formation of ball lightning, there's no such energy around. This is quantum effect. Quantum effect. The problem was how to use in practice, how to use this energy to produce, alive energy, kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is always positive. If you move, it's positive. There's no negative kinetic energy in our world. So how to use them? I made many experiments and other. Understood, I have to put 2 electrodes here, but touching the electron shell, not bolide nuke. If you touch bolide, even though tungsten electrode will appear here. You know, it's visible very well. Nuclei is very well visible. Usually it's very bright white color. And because it's very hot, around air is ionized, it's plasma, regular plasma. Regular plasma contains electron, ions, you know. They're not connected with bolide. You know, with bolide they are connected only quantum electrons. You know, and they obey this principle. When you run small current, 2-3 amps, nothing happens because this current is carried by regular electrons. In nature, there's philosophy. Physicists, usually they don't understand philosophy, will do all. At the beginning, because there's violation of all energy, and nature resists it, and the beginning carrier of this current are regular electrons, or regular plasma. But when you increase the current, there's not enough electrons, free electrons, and some of quantum electrons are involved in the game. They start to carry this current. You know, more current you put, more electrons in deep are involved, so more energy they have. You see, this is the nucleus, black one, 2 tungsten electrons touching only electron layer, and current is around, you know. Current must go directly, the shortest way, but it doesn't. It doesn't because there's nothing inside. This is black hole. There's no space, there's no, you know. A current goes around. You know, these are electrodes, volts, about 15,000. This one experiment. Later I used it very big current, 500,000 amps on the chargeable capacitor. And I have 2 US patents, and one I filed from Canada, but I didn't continue. It's abandoned because I have no money. Where this energy comes from? From nowhere. This is a gift of nature, quantum gift of nature. It's violation of all energy. This law is violated not in regular nature. Here everything's okay. There's absolutely no violation. But for quantum objects, which obey quantum principle, it can be violated many times, not just 2-3%. In China, I had hundreds of times already, even though I can have much more. You know. Okay, what happens here? This is the first method, electrical. What happens? I show some video of what happens. What happens? Electrons, this electrical current is full of electrons. They enter, and they are involved with this electrical current. They enter with, for example, 15,000 volts. But here, because, you know, they are carried by electrons, quantum electrons, which have tremendous energy. So these electrons are accelerated too much. The current is the same. So 15,000 volts becomes millions of volts. That's free energy, because energy is U multiplied by I, current. Current is the same. So in this ball lightning, excited ball lightning, is generated wild electrical. It's really wild. It's I enter, for example, 10 kilowatts power capacitors in average. Output is I cannot measure even though, because first time I made an experiment, all system I worked 1 year was broken. You know. This was electrical shock. All I think, you know, I could die too. You know, I cannot measure such a big current. It's like avalanche. Avalanche goes back, millions of volts, hundreds of thousands amps, destroy everything. Then half a year took me, this was in Canada, to rebuild the system, but I put 8 different traps. This current to go through traps and diminish power, and finally it's going back it's weakened, I had no idea how to use this wild current. This tremendous over unity, maybe 1,000, maybe 10,000. Extreme variant of this is, I call it quantum photonic bomb, but I am not talking more about that. So, extreme variant. So further, I am concerned only with peaceful application. I told them in China, too, everywhere. So, I think it's video there. Huh? No? It must be video. Wait. Okay. Yeah. It's ball lightning with diameter 1 meter and more. You see inside, just through the window. It's huge, giant ball lightning. Excited, when excited, tremendous power. Even though there's synchrotron radiation, X-rays, and another, even though gamma rays. You know what happened with ball lightning? It's only through window. Tremendous current, and radiation is, you understand, when charged particles are circuit, they radiate synchrotron radiation, and the energy is tremendous. So this energy radiated, not the electrical current, is, I measured ultraviolet, X-rays, and some gamma rays. This is source of very energetic particle too. Another application. My system in Canada was every 8-9 seconds, boom, boom. I could make even though every second, even less, if I have more powerful power supply. So another, you see what happened. Here I measured heat, 8 times more. Input was 85 kilowatts microwave. Output heat, what I measured, 8 times. So here we have 3 channels of free energy. Electrical current, huge. Electricity, wow. I cannot harness it, even though now I don't know how to harness. Heat, you saw, and synchrotron radiation. 3. This project needs additional work. I stopped it in Canada because, it's how it works. This, I still make it. Okay. Okay. What happened? Okay. So, in core chamber, it's very expensive, $15,000. It's huge quartz. Inside is ball lightning and microwave through waveguides. This chamber, metal chamber, is forming here, big, huge ball lightning. And because quantum temperature is constant, 5,000 degrees for this 1 atmosphere pressure, with very fast air turbine, I cool down. More you cool, more power you take. People cannot understand that. They think if you have some source of energy, 85 kilowatts, you cannot take out more than 85. It's not the case with ball lightning. You can take out any power. 100, 200, 500, 600, depend of this construction of core chamber and depending how you cool down without to destroy ball light. Now in China I work with very, very fast air blowers with very high speed, 20,000 even though. What?
When you're using the laser, make sure you don't shine it in.
Okay, sorry. So the output is very big. How air pressure is very crucial. For 1 atmosphere, there are not many particles. to go to hit the ball light to take energy outside. But if we use 10 atmosphere, in China I use this, the number of particles in cubic inch is 15 times more. So the output for the same is 15 times more. So the pressure is very crucial. I never before had possibility to make ball light in the pressure, but in China I built it. They gave me this possibility. Some experiments. I will not keep. I put in the YouTube, my website, many experiments, how to prove this. Now, third method of quantum formation and destruction of the space, heatless. This is third my method. I work on this method many years without to know about Joseph Papp, for example. Joseph Papp discovered that in noble gases, there's effect, later I saw he's doing similar things, Anyway, this observed that, but he never was able to explain it. He told that people who worked after him, that the problem is noble gases. Nothing to do with the truth. Noble gases are just media where ball lightning is created easy. In I work with noble gases too. But I cannot make big output. I explain why. I make ball lightning on this method in different media. I stopped working with noble gases because there's no sense to work. In air, very well. In water, the best is in water. In water, ball lightning, when appear in water, water is practically non-compressible media, non-compressible. But when ball lightning appear in, for example, in close, can you imagine? I have that this is close, metal. And with the charge from capacitors, ball lightning is great. Ball lightning is. And there was water here. Ball lightning appears suddenly, what will happen with water? There's no way to go outside water. Water is compressed too much to the walls and to bottom and to top. Too much. If the density, volumic density of water is 1 liter in kilogram per liter, here becomes 10, 15 kilogram per cubic liter, per liter. Do you know such a state of water? No, nobody knows. What happened with this water? I don't know. I didn't investigate. But anyway, this water, the whole volume with water, is compressed here. And it creates tremendous pressure. I was able in China, in special salamanders, to create 100,000 atmosphere. Can you imagine that this is the top is some piston? What will happen with the piston? What happens? In my salamanders quantum cannon, the motion, the speed was 1,000 meters per second. How I measure? With very big, very fast video camera, 1,200 frames per second. Very precisely. I can create even though much more speed. This is quantum cannon. This can launch rockets without fuel, any fuel, very little input, electrical power. Many electricity, if you have also electricity, many applications. And here there's no heat because ball lightning exists only 2-3 milliseconds. During this time, very hot ball lightning cannot hit too much water around. So if you touch the gel, it's cold. Just quantum kinetic energy, quantum kinetic free energy. It's very, very good method for applications, many applications. How this, for example, some experiment. You have some vessel, ceramic or another, central electrodes connected to a capacitor, maybe plus, and some plate, copper connected to the negative. Negative, no. Capacitor, I had such experiment in Canada. Capacitor 1 to 5, even though I had 5 capacitor, 809, it's not milli, it's micro, it's mistake. Microfarad. Voltage was between 8 kilovolts, resistor. Here must be resistor, RL, not RC, constant. RL, because if too big current from capacitor, it can damage capacitor, burn. And this RL, more is current, more is resistance. So I built RL resistors. It's like brake. More you push, more resistance, And when you run, this switcher is very important thing. There's no such a switcher. You cannot buy in no one company such a switcher. Because this switcher is bum, very fast. If contact, it's damaged very soon. And current here from capacity is very big, 500,000 amps I run. Voltage is not too big. Now I work with 20,000 in Bulgaria and China, volt, 20 kilovolts. But anyway, this tremendous current, it's, tremendous current. You need very high current to involve these quantum electrons, I told you. So after that, above this surface, ball lightning is upwards, big ball. In Canada, I make 1 meter. It's big. I'll show you some picture. These electrodes must be above water. It no matter how. Between 1, 10, 12 millimeter works. Salty water is electrolyte. How much salt? I don't care. Salt. Everything works. Any percent work. It's very stable. Every tank works. No matter how much salt, no matter above, even though if it is under, it works too. Anyway, this saw me. I understood many things with fast video camera. This experiment I made in Canada. Some experiments. You see this ball lightning, huge. It's different. Three ball lightning. It's in China, but this movie I saw after that. This movie, if you have cylinder here, piston, cylinder. Electrodes from capacitor, the same. Salty water here, air. Not only air and piston. When ball lightning appears in this space, the pressure here becomes very high because water doesn't compress much. Air is compressed too much, and piston goes up. They produce free energy work. It's kinetic energy. You can connect with, this can be in the car, transportation, electrical, Industrial generator in Canada. I created several of them, that's me. That's me. It's a video? No. This tubes, 40 centimeters diameter, with very fast turbine, air turbine. I cool down the ball lightning here. Ball lightning, huge power, output. These are, for example, me and my electrical engineer. He's from my country, Bulgaria, very good engineer. From distance, you see ball lightning, and you see cylinder. Here, transformer. I create 8 traps. So this backward, while current goes through 8 traps and goes to the electronics, very weakened. I don't know how to use it practically. For now. Another, I spent there $1.5 million to create all this stuff. This electronic system, big, with many things. This is power supply. Here I measure on oscilloscope with Rogowski ring current, 400,000, and different electronics, these particles, everything. That's me, another generator on Tron 1 in big cylinder quartz. I came from Canada after 5 years. My project was very successful, but 2008-9 recession, my investor lost his business in Venezuela. He drilled on oil, and he stopped to pay for the building, leasing. Our landlord locked the building. We moved to Vancouver Island, Victoria. So after I came back to Utah, I built this generator. It's very good generator, experimental. Very good. It produces good unity, very easy to manipulate. It still is in my house in Salt Lake City. That's me with, ball lightning here. But it's one atmosphere. Here are different quartz chambers. Every quartz chamber cost me $2,000-3,000. I spent my whole money on this. You understand that new kind of energy call for new kind of solution. Here is not the standard method to take energy, absolutely not. When nuclear energy was discovered, they must build special equipment to take this power to produce electricity. So here we need a totally different equipment and way to take this energy. Totally different solution. Electricity, heat, hydrogen, oxygen. I can reach temperature of 1,000 degrees. Very easy to dissolve the water into hydrogen here. Economically inexpensive synthetic hydrocarbon. In Canada, they are interested. Direct quantum energy for transportation. This I produce kinetic energy. This is, but I never use nanotechnology, gamma rays. Nanotechnologies. To produce one chip now in Silicon Valley, they use ultraviolet source of, and they're not nano. If you want to create nanochips, you need X-rays, but not these X-rays. But these X-rays must be very dense, not like in X-rays machine. Very close particles might be there. There's no way to create them. For experiment, they made in Silicon Valley, I saw in big accelerators, Stanford. But you cannot use one multi-billion accelerator to produce one chip. It's impossible. Experiments, okay. But my machine, they produce very dense flow of X-rays. So this can be used to create chips for computers. Very gamma lasers also. If I accelerate current everything, so more extreme, I can produce very dense flow of gamma particles. These are different projects I built, how to use different. Well, it's simple. For example, quantum generator for a house or block of houses. It can produce electricity hotter and hotter. Nothing for mass, and nothing, no fuel, no electricity, so this self-sustained, That's on people. That's my next plan. After a month, I'm going back to Bulgaria. If I have investment, they promise me, I build this. I will not, until now, my mistake, not mistake, I was trying to build big power. In China, 2-3 megawatts. In Canada. But big power, they need big money, much time. Investors become very nervous because to go to the business, you don't need just some technological experiment like this. You need fine machine, stable, safe. It takes time to build it. So I'm ready to build, but not 2-3 megawatt. I can build 2 megawatt even though huge power plant, 1,000 megawatt. But why? This method makes monopoly of big electrical coal oil company zero. Yeah, because people can produce energy on where they live, where they work. We don't need transmission power plant, huge power electrical plant. We will produce everything, electricity on the place where we live, we work. So this becomes independent. Monopoly of all energy companies will be ruined. And their influence on politics, people will be, Thank you. That's why they are afraid of this. They are very afraid. I know that. They are afraid because this will destroy their huge business. Exxon makes 500 billion per year. And it's everything monopoly. Oil fields, then oil pipe, to transfer, then refineries, gas station. We pay what they say us. Here, you don't need to pay. You just buy a generator and you can produce any power, any energy you need, And oil company, okay, I'll continue. This is project which I built in China, actually, this scheme. This was, okay, I built this. Here, how to transform kinetic energy into electricity, many things. Here I show steering engine. In China, they give around 50 kilowatts for free, steering engine. It has not big efficiency, about 20, they say 25%. But I have very big over unit, I don't care about it. If you have 3 times over unit, you don't care that it's loose, 20, But it's easy. It's easy. Quantum cannon, I built it in Canada, I show in China, Or many of them. Input is electrical current, very little. Output, this projectile can move, now I build 1,000 meters per second. But I know I can build with 3,000-4,000 per minute. But the head must be very special, not to, burn. And this can be used for rockets. Because more powerful system, not much electricity, can launch thousands of tons rocket, 10 of tons. So we save fuel from the beginning, fuel. Airplane also. No need in fuel, in airplane also can be a quantum generator to turn turbines. Bulgaria, China. 2003, I moved to Bulgaria, where in city of Varna, with very little investment. I had only 20,000 euro for me, my electrical engineer, for materials. This was ridiculous, but anyway, we created very good generators. This China already, my lab, I have very big lab in China, several rooms big, and 5 different generators. This my electrical engineer, fat guy, Ben. He's fat, but he's very good. He's smart and he can do anything. Behind, to my technicians, very good guys. This part, we built here this generator. That's me. From distance. This microwave generator, this electronics automatics. Here is very fast air blower in pressure vessel, of course, because I work here with 8 atmosphere, 120 psi. Here is heat exchanger. So then I produce heat very big. This is another project in China. That show right side of electronics, high power electronics. This RL resistor, as I told you, to stop, not to burn the transformer, the capacitor which are here. The DC power supply, many things inside. This from another, quartz chamber, double wallet with very little hole inside. Very important is to take more power outside. It's very important how you build the chamber, quartz chamber, and how to take this power. Because I'm not afraid somebody to steal something. It needs huge experience, and he cannot do it. In parallel, behind my shoulders, in some university, they try to repeat this. I knew that. This was espionage, dirty espionage, but they didn't know. I was in China to make business for me, but they were behind me, and they were spying about me. This ball, I think, under pressure. Can you imagine? Here is 1 atmosphere. Here is, there in the chamber is 8 atmosphere. Very compressed air. And ball lightning, exists. And very bright. When pressure is, ball lightning becomes very, very bright. Impossible to look at, And that shows very high temperature. For example, they came from different Chinese institutions to measure temperature. With their machines, their equipment, they could measure plasma, temperature of plasma around ball light. They cannot measure temperature of ball light. It's impossible, it's quantum measure. It's a method like some white dwarf star. You can. This temperature is hundreds of thousands degrees. Around plasma, they measure plasma around for 1 atmosphere, 10,000 degrees. Plasma, air plasma. So 10,000 in continuous regime. But can you imagine quartz and around 10,000 degrees? Quartz melt at 1,700 degrees. It is 10,000. Why does it melt? Because, and this was a big surprise for them. Why? Because there's electronic thermal isolation between the quartz walls and ball lightning. Electron center inside, they create electron layer, and from this electron from plasma are rejected, and there's no possibility to transfer energy from ball lightning to the wall and outside. This was problem for me, but I found a way how to take this tremendous energy with special constructions, way of cooling. This is a long research and understanding. So, ball lightning at the pressure, how bright it is. It's impossible to look. I close this window usually, just for pictures and, Here I open a system, you see, I disconnected, I wanted to see how much is temperature of air coming freely outside. It was 432, even though more, degrees Fahrenheit, about 750, this Celsius, 750, I guess, Fahrenheit, But the real temperature is 10,000, in some another experiment, we melted, because some people want to see how this air can melt metal. Okay, melt, even though tungsten. That's me. Here, working machine is, you see, ball light is extremely hot, bright. Here too. You see here, in China they use MPI. MPA for pressure, that's 0.8 MPa means 8 atmosphere or 120 psi. It's working. Here is what is the most important thing. My generator using heatless method, heatless method. You know, this at the moment when we install. It's 1 ton. 1 ton. Here we have springs. Because without springs, it jumps like frog, and all building is like earthquake. You know. Because it's like this cannon. And boof, boof. Yeah, from here to here is 12 feet, 350 centimeters. Here on the bottom is ball lightning, you know. So this cylinder is not just cylinders, but it's many things. It cost me half a year to work and very fine work in special company which produce cylinders for pressure, hydro cylinders, and so on. So inside diameter of this cylinder is 159 millimeters, but very precise. With precision diameter 0.001 millimeter. It can be done with special equipment. And during a few days, measure, and inside surface is like mirror, better than mirror. It's stainless steel. So, and they have such equipment. You know. Why? The walls, thickness of the wall is 4 centimeters. Because pressure is here tremendous. You know. That's me. You know, they are connected with 2 cables from electronic system. It's here, you know, 2, plus and minus. Tremendous current is going here. Okay. 400, 500,000 amps and 20,000 volts by burst. Boom. Sorry. By burst. Okay. Yes, here another project. Here, some videos. Continue. Okay. So, it's Bulgaria. You know, some experiment. You see, geyser. It's very little. Right? Geyser, but outside. 30 meters, 10 liters water. It's very little power. You know. Ball lightning, ball lightning is created down in this vessel. You know, and geyser under huge pressure is going 30 meters. You know, it can be more, but it's water, it's pressure, resistance to fire. You know. Okay, there are other things, but I'll continue. You know, this machine works. You see, inside there's ball lightning, piston, and this piston, bum, it produces work, free energy. Good total unit. Down, you see, the springs another because it's, you know. Here, very interesting to understand that. This cylinder is from plexiglass, thick, 3/4 inch, and bottom and the top, 1 inch plexiglass with spacers. When I tested with water under pressure, 10 atmosphere water, it is okay, no distress. But when ball lightning, it's instantaneously destroyed. Here is very interesting because you see what happened. This is made with very fast video camera, 1,200. I see every 1 millisecond what happened. It's very important how ball lightning creates, you know, what happened on the place when ball lightning move up. On the place you see sphere of bubbles, water because it's very hot. It's, you know, if you know, on the bottom ball lightning, but is this only, there is only 1 millisecond. It's move very fast with very fast, big speed. And on the place where was created ball lightning, you see after that next 1 millisecond, you see sphere of water bubbles. Because ball lightning is very hot, but no matter 1 millisecond, it's formed this, you know. But because very fast, I cannot use this to heat water, just kinetic energy. I prepared this 1 month with money, and the experiment lasted 2 milliseconds. But I was very happy that we could, cannon in Bulgaria. Also, you can see this. It's not bullet. It's 8 kilograms. It's far away, with very big speed. It dropped it down. So, this was test in China. Before to cylinder, test open. I just tested electron. This video was made by Chinese TV, and they saw on Chinese news first channel. They saw me many times in Chinese TV, newspaper. They are very interested there, So this was made by Chinese TV, very fine, I had no time to make this slower. This is in normal speed, normal. If you make in slow speed, you can see all details. Very interesting. This happened very fast, That's it. I had no idea how long time.
Thank you very much, Kiril Chukanov. Do we have questions today?
I want to say that I have hearing problems and speaking problems. Many years I was deaf. Now I have hearing aid, but it doesn't help me too much. So my wife will help me with questions. Not everything I understand what you ask me. I speak very well. I read English perfect, everything, but I have problem with speaking and hearing. So sorry for that.
In your system, what is the minimum voltage and what's the approximate amperage that you see to generate the ball lightning?
In your system, what is the minimum voltage?
Какво?
In your system, what is the minimum voltage?
Input voltage.
Yeah.
In Canada, I had DC power supply by 11,000 volts. So I didn't use 11,000 volts, but capacitors were, the range was 10,000. No, capacitors were 12,000. DC power supply was 11,000. Who works with capacitor knows. If you charge capacitor to the range, you kill them, they will not last a long time. So I stayed something lower at 8,000, maximum 9,000 volts. But this is for this technology, for heatless.
So could you tell something more about the very principle of generating of the ball lighting? And the other question, is it really ball-shaped or maybe some kind of donut or torus-shaped object?
Okay, let's do the shape of the ball lightning. Is just the ball or can be another shape?
Yes, about shape.
Is it ball or torus, donut shape?
Yes, shape in normal conditions, so calm air, not moving, is very calm. If there's pressure from below, it's so if ball lightning is calm air, calm conditions, it's ball. But if there's pressure from inside, it's deformed. It becomes like this, or when it produces in open, it goes up with very big speed. Of course, air disturbs its shape. It can make every shape, But normally, in the nature, ball lightning is spherical. Because in nature, if some wind, it pushes it, and ball lightning cannot go down and up. Because its point, its physical point, there's no volume inside. So the principle, this Archimedes principle, buoyancy, doesn't work here. Because this principle is pushed up if water, replaced water, is so, you understand this, you know. Yeah. But here inside, this point, this physical point, so it's not, it can go through the glass also without make hole ball lightning. Because this point, there's no space inside, it's like point, you know, very unusual property.
Ja тоже спрашал об способе изготовления такой формы. My first question was, could you please tell us something about the very principle, basic method of creating such a form or ball lighting?
The method of creating that ball.
Kako?
The method to create the ball lightning.
Yes, method of creation of ball lightning, the most important is to have very fast ionization. And through the whole volume, not just, if you put 2 electrodes, discharge just electric discharge, you cannot create ball lightning. You know, you need the whole volume at the same time to be ionized fast. This makes microwave, you know. And with capacitors, very powerful capacitors, with capacitors, you can also create ball lightning, like this heatless method, even though in water, you know. So I know 2 methods, microwave and discharge fast capacitors from capacitors. Fast discharge from capacitors, yeah.
Okay, I would like to ask you a little bit about actual real life ball lightning in comparison to your own experiments, because I see some big differences. When you see a lot of the reports of ball lightning in real life, what you see is a couple of things. You see some of them are indicated that they move at more or less walking speed, that they last a long time because they're observed to be moving at walking speed in a horizontal direction, not vertical. And the other thing is that if they are plasma, and that's not quite settled, I believe, if they are plasma, at least some of them are non-thermalized plasma because they do not inflict thermal damage despite the time scale, which is seconds or minutes rather than milliseconds. So you explain how there was no damage in one case because even though it was highly thermalized, the time scale is so short. But if you have something that's moving very slowly at walking speed, the time scale is not short. So it cannot be thermalized. So my basic question is I think what you are doing is a subset of the possibilities of ball lightning. It is not just the only type of ball lightning that exists.
I think I understood
What was
very
the
well.
question in there?
The question is, do you see a difference between other types of ball lightning that is observed in real life and your laboratory experiments?
Do you see the difference between the real life ball lightning and what you are actually creating in your laboratory?
There's no difference. In nature, ball lightning appears very occasionally. I never saw in nature ball lightning, but I build ball lightning every day, since 20, you know. In nature, it appears from linear lightning in the corona, you know, it can appear, or some shortage electrical, or it lasts maximum few seconds, Usually, it lasts part of second. We don't know this ball light because there's no time to see, just some sparkling, that's it. It doesn't matter. Some people consider who investigate natural ball light, it is the most important feature. How long time? It's not the most important. They are in different life. They have ball light in nature, which lives fraction of a second, and 10 seconds, it's the same ball light, you know. I produce ball lightning artificial in generators, the same, absolutely the same ball lightning, the same features, you know. But they last forever, non-stop, hours, months, non-stop. I learned how to create ball and maintain it continuously. Because you cannot investigate natural ball light, you have no time. It appears suddenly somewhere, you have no equipment, you know. So no research. But when you produce with all equipment, you can observe long time. I investigated this 28 years, many features. It took me different setups, different time to understand in my mind everything, you know. There's no difference in features. There's no difference. It's the same ball light. But natural is you cannot use it. You cannot see it. Some people, if 7 people, only one see it during their life, natural ball light.
I have a question towards your home devices. The latest one, it looked like the Angel one, something like this. What is the output power in heat and electricity, and how much input power does it need? Can you tell a few numbers, specs?
For the home devices, you were showing the input, output, all these dimensions.
Input, output. Of course, this is the most important thing if you want to produce free energy. You know, the output, the input is very easy to measure. If these are capacitors, you know, energy capacitors is equal to C multiplied by U squared divided by 2. So C, capacitance, we know, for example, in China I use 100 microfarad, in Canada 890. Voltage, I know voltage, I can calculate input power energy. But not all this energy is going to create ball lightning, because this energy goes through resistor and through switcher, which absorb too much energy. Switcher I use, is my construction. You know, their contact, they become very hot. I cool them down, so some energy stops in the switcher. And what is left is going to the ball lightning chamber. So, but I accept that the whole energy is going to the ball light, this input. I know, for example, 25 kilojoule, you know. The output is measured, for example, I know how to measure. I'm doctor in thermodynamics. I know how to work, measure, calculate. But in this heatless, you know, with very fast video camera, have to see, it's going, for example, this way. Cylinder is not visible. There's piston, which is connected with one rod. You see the rod. I'll move outside to the cylinder. Behind, you have some in centimeters, about centimeters. So, if I see every one divided by 1,200 seconds, this is one frame. I see it by push, push, push. For example, for 2 frames, that means 2 divided by 1,200 seconds, 2 milliseconds. It's going, for example, 20 centimeters. The speed is 20 centimeters divided by this time, 2,000 of seconds. If 20 centimeters, 2,000 seconds is 40 meters per second. So you know the speed. You know the speed. Okay. This is the speed of piston. You know how weight. The weight, for example, 10 kilograms. I use piston in this, that long. A very special construction piston. First of all, this must be absolutely the same diameter, like, you know, not to go air around, all air to push the piston. Very, very close, maybe 2-3 milli from the millimeter, very tight. And it's not enough because pressure is too high. On the surface of this cylinder, I made a Tesla valve, like Tesla valve. This. When air is going up, no matter this distance, gap is very little. It's going this way, like Tesla valve, it goes back. Back, it stops the air from down. And no one molecule can go. So the whole power is given to the piston. If air is going around, power drops very much. Like in cannon before, cannon, bullet, powder behind. And they make little hole to fire. When hole becomes very big, no power. So gap must be minimal, and to make shape like Tesla coil. I make cell like this, and it goes from down up, going down, back, and hit, and stop. No one molecule, So I know the load. Piston for something, for example, 23 kilograms. I know the speed. Energy is mv squared divided by 2. But it's not the whole energy, guys. It's not the whole energy. Because this half of energy. Because there's back, you saw that, back. This energy is going in there. So this is double. You multiply this by that. So m multiplied by v squared, not divided, double. Even though it's not the whole thing. Because in chambers, cars, works only explosion. When explosion, so work is just during explosion. Here works back too. Because we have explosion, implosion. Back, because tremendous vacuum is created, so it goes up and down. If you connect with it works not only this way, back way. So this 4 times. Here in these cylinders, work is double. Because explosion up, produce, down, again, rotate this. So double, So this calculates, it's easy to calculate. But, and another method, temperature. You have to know, for example, I measure there exhaust air, big speed, I have, here equipment to measure airflow, Airflow, I measure airflow, but cold air, not hot, because hot, Airflow, I know the speed. There's formula. Airflow, temperature I measure with precision 0.1 degrees Celsius. I can calculate the output with air, hot air, Input is from microwave. I know input from microwave, and you compare.
What is the output? Can you give the numbers?
Output is very different. If, and here people don't understand why. Output. If you have here ball lightning, and the input is, for example, 3 kilowatts, you cannot expect outside of the cooling more than 3 kilowatts, because that's all energy conservation. But here in ball lighting, it's very different. It could be 3.3 kilowatts, 5 kilowatts, 6, 10 kilowatts. It depends of how the construction of this cold chamber. I make double wall with holes inside, with many things. I increase very much the output, and then I make ball lighting after in pressure. With in pressure, the output increase 15 times. Because density of air, more air particle touch ball lightning and take this power. In 1 atmosphere, how many particles? 10, 19 per square centimeter. If you increase the pressure, it goes 15 times more. So 15 times more particle touch. Only air particles which touch the ball lightning will take this free energy. Not touch if going this way, nothing. So this layer is very important to know, must be very thin. And, very thin. Because if big, They don't work another air particles. They just go through without, But very thin, they touch ball light. Very dense and very thin fall. So very important is the way. Very important is to have very fast speed blowers. Blower is, blower. I use Honda in China. They have very fast fall, very fast fall. 5,000-6,000 meters per second. Its hurricane is, much less. Actually, another thing, just a second, please. In China, they have the best trains in the world, the system, the best. They move with 350 kilometers per hour, very comfortable, 15-20 minutes above the level. They don't take land, extreme, very good. United States, we have no such trains. Now, because Americans are American too, want to be first, the leaders. They want to build now trains moving with, not 300, 1,000 meters, 1,000, like airplane, in tunnels, where they will create tunnels. They will create tunnels, vacuum, and train will go to a vacuum. There will be no resistance. And this train will be, suspended, electrostatic, so they think they will move with speed like airplane. I can create not within 3,000, 4,000 to move, and no vacuum. Vacuum is difficult to create in such a big volume. Too many vacuum machines, and the same electricity, the same electrostatic, They make such a project here in America, some Texas or somewhere. I'll make small in Bulgaria if and trains will be moving by hurricane. No vacuum here, just these hurricanes, actually confined here, push it back. They will push. On station, this will go back, speed go slow down. So train will move with speed 3,000 kilometers per hour. I want to make small model. So, sorry.
I have a quick question for you. How much do you anticipate the manufacturing cost of your home power station? First part. Second part, what's the diameter of the ball lightning in your home power station?
Okay, the home power station. How much you think the cost, and what is the diameter of the ball lightning? Or that the same home?
You mean to build generator for some houses, block of houses? I know the price. When you build a prototype, money are big. Because you involve many people, you change material, you change, so the price of prototype 10, 20, 30 times more than in mass production. In mass production, when everything is known, and materials, and on the line, I calculated modestly. Now for conventional generators, reactors, coal, nuclear, for coal, for example, $3,000 for 1 kilowatts installed power. For nuclear, $3,500 in America for 1 kilowatt installed power. If you bought 1,000 megawatt nuclear power plant, it will cost you $3.5 billion. They are measured by kilowatt installed power. Hydro is even though more expensive. Solar panel, So, in my case, this quantum energy will cost maximum $400 per kilowatt installed power. So 7 times less than for conventional. If you need to build one generator, 1 megawatt, 7-8 times less, cheaper. But don't forget, if you have some generator which is natural gas.
Kiril?
You pay only, not only the price of generator, you pay every year for the fuel. Here I have no fuel, you don't pay fuel. So the price drops considerably. You know, if you buy a car, for a new car, $25,000, you know, you pay the price, but for 10 years you pay 10 times more for fuel. You know, here you pay this money and you forget about everything.
What is the diameter of the ball lightning? And when
Depends of power, depends of pressure. If this ball lightning can be created with about 10 kilowatts input, normal pressure. But if pressure is big, it squeeze comes much less. Because, you know. But anyway, important is how much can output. You know, the depends input power, microwave, or in the pressure. You know, in Canada I make 1 meter diameter ball light, but I put 85 kilowatts input.
Thank you very much, Kiril Chukanov. We're out of time.
Thank you.